Hi, how you doing? Hopefully I'm live this time because the other time I was talking to myself for almost 30 minutes. I didn't know I was not live. So if you can see this, let me know. Comments. Okay, go on my page now to see if you can see the new live video. Try to go live on Instagram. Okay, so you can see me, right? Hello, how you doing? See if I can get some light in here. Hi, how are you? If you can see me, comment. Thanks for joining today's live video. I hope I'm live now. I was live for the past 30 minutes and I didn't know the settings was just only me. It wasn't on public. So I was talking to myself all this time. So if you can see me this time, please comment and let me know that I'm public. I was live on both Instagram and Facebook and I was talking to myself all along. All right, so thank you. All right, Mike is watching. So I think I'm public now, so I'm good now. All right, thank you for joining today's live video. I am back this week with another Q&A section. So if you have any questions as it relates to, back taxes, IRS taxes, state taxes, payment plan, offer and compromise, feel free to comment or dial my office line and I can answer your question live, okay? The number to call is 443-741-4188. I do this every month where I go live and I take calls. So if you have, any questions as we are having this live video, feel free to call in and I'll be glad to address your questions, okay? So if you are watching this live video for the first time, my name is Bernice Atsan. I'm a licensed CPA. I manage a tax resolution practice here in Columbia, Maryland, where we help people resolve their tax problems. We, file back taxes and help you negotiate a settlement with the IRS, okay? We negotiate an affordable settlement that, taxpayer can afford. So if you hold back taxes or you have outstanding taxes that you haven't paid, or you have any questions regarding PPP loan forgiveness, EIDL, or back years that you hold back taxes, feel free to comment, or you can also call my line. I believe I have the phone number on this screen, 443-741-4188, all right? So we're about to get started. Before we dive into today's topic, I want to kind of, make a few announcements. I'm sure you have filed your taxes already, your 2019 taxes. You should start receiving notices now. Notices, IRS would, send a certified mail or regular mail letting you know that they have processed your tax return. You now have, outstanding taxes that you need to pay. If that's applicable to you, you should be getting a notice of intent to levy. I received so many calls within the past few weeks. People calling me saying that, oh my God, I have, engaged you guys to help us negotiate my taxes, but I'm getting all these notices, intent to levy. So keep in mind that each time you have outstanding taxes, with the IRS that you have not paid, you will be getting the intent to levy, okay? Intent to levy is a way of IRS letting you know that you have processed your tax return and you need to come up with a resolution, maybe to negotiate, settlements or pay in full. So the notice of intent to levy doesn't mean that they are going to levy you right away. You will get at least 5 notices before IRS levy or garnish your paycheck. The notice, will be like you will receive a CP11. If you look on the right corner of the letter that you received, you will see is either CP11, CP14, CP503, 504. The final notice before the levy you is the L10 or L11, okay? So it's very important that you respond to the IRS and come up with a resolution to pay your outstanding taxes before the levy you. So today, I would like to share with you the top 3 secrets of negotiating your IRS taxes. Okay, this is golden rule that you need to know. Very important, okay, because we see a lot of people, in our practice on a daily basis that they owe the IRS and they just don't know what the resolution or what to do because it's so far back and they don't know how to go about, resolving their outstanding taxes. So today, I want to share with you common mistakes that people make when it comes to negotiating their outstanding taxes and what you need to look out for if you really want a very good deal. All right. So the number 1 top secret is do not file all your old tax returns without verifying your statute of limitation. Very important. What is statute of limitation? Okay. There's 6 years requirement. So if you have like back taxes that you have not filed, let's say for instance, you have not been filing your taxes for the past 10 years or 15 years. I want you to know that you are not required to file all your old taxes. If you do that, you just self-reporting yourself, which is not in your best interest. By law, you are only required to file the last 6 years of your tax return, okay? So before you start to, get in compliance with your taxes, you want to find out what your statute of limitation is. Like right now, we're now in 2019. If you are trying to get in compliance with your tax return, you are only required to file 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, which is the last 6 years. The only time that you will need to file prior to 14 is if IRS already filed an SFR, okay? Because sometimes, especially if you are self-employed, if you have not filed your taxes for years, IRS could file the return for you. It's called substitute for return. So before you even start to get in compliance or go all the way back into filing your taxes, you want to check what your statute of limitation is. Very, very important. These secrets are, saved so many people at least 6 figures in tax liability. I'm not kidding. I had a client who came to me 3 weeks ago. He had debt in his family and he has not filed his taxes for almost 15 years, okay? When he came to me, he wanted us to help him with resolution help, to negotiate the tax to see what are his options. And guess what? He self-reported himself for the past 15 years. Whoever that did the taxes did not know that you are only required to file the last 6 years to get in compliance. So the tax preparer did 15 years worth of taxes. The total tax liability was about $320,000. When I saw the tax return, I almost cried. So please don't be ignorant. Make sure you understand the law and you know what the statute of limitation is. Very, very important. According to the Internal Revenue Code, you are only required to file the last 6 years of your tax return. Okay, to get in compliance, you file the last 6 years and then you come up with a resolution plan of how you want to resolve the taxes. Maybe you want to get on a payment plan or you want to negotiate an OIC, which is an offer to settle your taxes for less than what you owe. There are several options available to you. But before you start to negotiate or even file your tax return, you want to make sure that you verify your statute of limitation. Because if my client, now he's my client, and I'm trying to help him negotiate the taxes, but it's almost $320,000. When you self-report yourself, IRS would accept it because you don't know any better. Okay, so very, very important that you consult a tax professional who understand how tax resolution works. Because now that the client's already filed 15 years worth of taxes, is really nothing I could do to help other than just coming up with a resolution plan for him. Okay, so make sure before you file all your old taxes, because I do have clients that have not filed their taxes for 10 years or 12 years. Yeah, it happens, year after year, things happen and you don't file the taxes, you get behind. So make sure that you understand what your statute of limitation is, you verify. So we are now in 2020, right? You are only required to file from 2014 to 19 to get in compliance with your taxes. The only reason why you should be filing prior to 14 is if you have a substitute for return that was already filed by the IRS. Because sometimes when you don't file your tax return, IRS will file the return for you. We call it substitute for return, okay? So before you even start to negotiate or, try to file the tax return, you really want to check in with the IRS to see what they have on file for you. If there are other years that had already been filed, because when you don't file your taxes, IRS do have the right to file it for you, okay? So in that case, then you can replace the years that you filed. But if IRS did not file any returns, and you have not filed your returns for over a decade, you are only required to file the last 6 years. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on this live video, or you can call in and I can answer your questions. The number to call in is 443-741-4188, okay? I did not know that I was live the other time. I was just talking to myself. The settings was on private. So if you can hear me, if you're on this live video, comments, let me know that I'm live. Because for the past 30 minutes, I was just talking to myself. I didn't know the settings was on private. So, but I can see that people are watching this live video. So that's the number one secret. Do not file all the old returns, okay, without verifying your statute of limitation. Very, very important. You are so awesome, Bernice. Thank you for sharing your expertise. Thank you, Ugo. I appreciate you all the time. Thank you for liking and commenting and sharing my videos. I really appreciate it. Yes, I mean, that's the only way for me to give back, because, people are in, different situation that they have not filed their taxes for like decades and they don't even know what to do. Like I said, the client that came into my practice about 3 weeks ago, he had not filed his taxes for 15 years. He went ahead and filed all the return and self-report himself to the IRS. That cost him about $200,000 in extra, taxes that they had to pay. So I want to make sure that I educate, let people know that, there is a statute of limitation. Just because you haven't filed your taxes for 15 years doesn't mean that you have to file everything. You are only required to file the last 6 years. So, which is why when we sign in clients in my practice, the very first thing that we do, verify to see what is on file, because sometimes when you don't file your tax return, IRS will file the return for you. So we want to see if there's any substitute for return. In that case, then you need to replace what IRS already filed. Because, when IRS filed your tax return, they have no ideas what your expenses were. They don't know what your deductions are. So you want to make sure that you replace any substitute for return that has already been filed, okay? But if there's no tax assessment, if there's no SFR, you only need to file the last 6 years and get in compliance. We do it all the time. I have clients that they haven't filed their return for 20 years. I don't care. If you haven't filed your return for 20 years, you only need to file 6 years to get in compliance. You look amazing. Thank you, Lio G. As a matter of fact, this suits like... Thank you so much. If you like the look today, support my friend Layo Badamosi. She has a clothing line. She sells professional suits. Very affordable. Check her out. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions so far, feel free to call me. Call the landline. The number to call is 443-741-4188. I'll be glad to answer your questions. Also, if you want to win a chance to get $200 gift card, make sure you comment on anything that you've learned on my live video, because I've been doing this live video now every month. If you know that you learned something valuable, feel free to comment and I'll be glad to thank you Lio. I'll be glad to pick the winner at the end of this live video. Okay, if you want a $200 gift card, I will give that away because it's very important that we educate people that they know taxes are very important. You know, it can make or break your bank account. So the more that we share this tax law and educate people, the better for you. So that's the first top secret. Do not file all your old tax return without verifying the statute of limitation. Who can tell me what the statute of limitation is? I just said it. Can anyone comment and let me know what the statute of limitation is for your tax preparation? So if you have someone who have not filed their taxes for 10 years, what is the statute of limitation to get the returns filed? I have a lot of people watching this live video. Please let me know. I don't like talking to myself. Comment and let me know what the statute of limitation is. I just mentioned that like a few minutes ago. So if you have several years that you have not filed, how far back can you go? 6 years. You got it, liar. Thank you. You are only required to file 6 years of your taxes to get in compliance. Okay. So do not make that mistake. I had a client who came in and filed 15 years of taxes. Don't make that mistake. If you have not filed your taxes, you only need 6 years. Don't self-report yourself. If you self-report yourself for 10 years, IRS will take it and they will take that money. Okay. So very important. That's the number one secret. Do not file old tax returns without verifying your statute of limitation. The second one is make sure that you confirm your collection statute expiration dates. This is very important. This is also another secret. Every tax assessment has an expiration date. So if you have not filed your taxes for so many years, of course, your statute will not run. The statute of limitation will start to run on the date that IRS process and assess your taxes. Okay? So before you start any negotiation on your taxes, you want to make sure that you verify when your taxes would expire. If you already filed the taxes or if IRS filed the return for you, you want to check in to know what your statute of limitations are. I had a client who came to me about 9 months ago. His total tax liability was about $220,000. Okay, he had not filed. Well, he filed some years. He didn't file some years. So he had some years that he had not filed, and he had some years that he already filed. Okay, when we checked the collection statute, $140,000 was set to expire within 9 months. Okay, this is why it's very important that you know what date your taxes would expire. Very, very important. Because if you don't know and you try to file for bankruptcy or you try to get an OIC, it's going to extend your statute further, okay? IRS will have more time to collect. So you want to make sure that you verify your statute of limitations. So for my clients, when I did the investigation analysis, $140,000 was set to expire in 9 months. So rather than doing an offer and compromise and extend the collection statute, we just negotiated the lowest monthly payment plan. I was able to put him on $40 monthly payment plan, and 9 months later, the taxes will expire, okay, about $140,000. So it's very, very important that your tax professional, if you are trying to resolve your tax problem, you hire someone who understands tax law, who would look at all these things and determine what type of resolution plans suitable for your case. You know, we have helped lots of people save 6 figures in taxes just by knowing the strategy and knowing what to look for. Okay, so don't fall the trap into just getting anyone to help you resolve your problems. You want to hire someone who deal with the IRS all the time. Like in my practice, every single day, my staff, we talk to the IRS. We know what to look for. We know what type of strategies. Okay, so I mentioned the very first secret. Do not file all your old returns. If you file the returns, IRS will take it. So it is in your best interest that you do not do that. You want to know what your statute of limitation is before you file the return. Okay. The second one is you want to make sure that you know what your collection statute expiration dates are. Every tax assessment has an expiration date. The only time you wouldn't have expiration date is if you do not file the tax return. But the moment you file the return, IRS would assess a set date. That is very, very important in negotiating your tax liability. all right? Like I said, I saved my clients almost $140,000 rather than just doing an offer and compromise. Offer and compromise is a resolution plan where you would offer an amount to settle your taxes for less than what you owe, okay? Rather than doing that, when you do that, it's going to extend your set dates. There are tolling events that would extend set dates. So it is very important that you examine what your set dates are. When you file bankruptcy, whatever period that you spend in filing the bankruptcy will be added back to your set dates. Same thing for OIC, okay? Payment plan is also the same thing. When you file, when you negotiate, while you are negotiating, IRS cannot levy your bank account. So during that period, they will add it back to your set dates, okay? So do you have any questions for me so far? So I have mentioned 2 top secrets. Don't file your old returns. Make sure that you verify your CSED. And the third option is to examine what is the best resolution plan for you. You know, like my client that I mentioned to you that I helped set up a payment plan because his taxes was set to expire in 9 months. If I did not examine different type of resolution plan, he would have done an OIC. When you do an OIC, it's going to extend your set date further down, giving IRS more time to collect. So it is very, very important that you determine what type of resolution options are best for you. There are different types. There's payment plan, which is the regular payment plan. That's the full pay. With that one, you don't have to submit any financial analysis. You just get on a call and you negotiate, okay? That is a full pay. At the end of your set date, you would have paid your taxes in full. That's one option. The other option that I use all the time is partial pay installment agreements. Very important. Partial pay installment agreements is where we would analyze the client situation. We'll look at your monthly income and your expenses. And we will present your case to the IRS that you are not making enough money to pay your taxes in full. So what we do is we negotiate the lowest payment plan possible until your taxes start to expire. Okay, like I said, taxes have a set date. If you file your tax return, the set date will be 10 years after assessment dates. When you don't file, it's not the collection statute will not run. So it's very important that you file the tax return. Okay? So the last option can be, what is that called? So I've talked about OIC. I've talked about payment plan. And the other option is non-collectible status. I use this a lot for our clients who are like old citizens and they're not really making enough money. They're already retired, but they have like 6 figures in taxes. What I do for clients like that is I'll put them on currently non-collectible status. Because at that point, they're not really making that much money. They only receive Social Security benefits for the most part. So in that case, rather than setting you up on a payment plan that you can afford, what we do is we will negotiate a currently non-collectible status where I would present your financial information, the 433A or 433B, to let the IRS know that you're already retired. You're not making enough money, and we can put you on currently non-collectible status. I have so many clients who are currently non-collectible. When you are on currently non-collectible, IRS cannot levy your bank account. They cannot garnish your paycheck. And your collection statute will continue to run. Once your taxes expires, it will just fall off your transcript. So it's amazing. So if you are out of job, you don't have any job, you're not making any money, you don't have any source of income, rather than trying to get on a payment plan that you cannot afford, I recommend that you look into currently non-collectible status. It's very amazing. I have a lot of people watching this live video. Do you have any calls, any questions for me? Like I said, you can call in. I only have 5 more minutes, but you can call in. The number to call is 443-741-4188, and I'll be glad to answer your questions live. Do you have any questions for me so far? I have a lot of people. So nobody wants my $200 gift card. Hi, Gary. How you doing? I know that you watch my video. I get lots of people, watch my live video on a monthly basis. Do you want to share with me anything valuable that you've learned so far that you want to share so that I can give away my gift card, or you just don't want the money? If you don't want it, it's okay. But it'll be nice to share and let's talk through it. I know every month I come up with valuable tips to help you resolve your tax problems. So, it's the end of the year. I would like to go over those things. I just want to know if you're paying attention. But if you don't want to share, that's absolutely fine. Okay. Do I have any other questions? If I don't, I'm just going to call it a day. I don't think I have any other questions. Nyla? Can you see if there's any other comments? Because
Yeah, I'm not getting your video.
you can see it? Okay.
I can see it.
You can?
Yeah.
Do I have any comments so far?
Thank you for the text.
Anybody want to participate in this drawing? No?
Names or yeah, Google or text. You go.
Yeah. All right. Well, it doesn't look like you have any questions. So just comment. If you come up with any other questions that you want me to answer, feel free to drop the comments. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful... We are all shy. I know I'm very shy too, but I have to do this for people, So if you're shy, it's absolutely fine. But thank you so much for tuning in. And if you have a question any other time, just comment and I'll be glad to answer your questions. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.